Welcome to Google Classroom. You can access Google Classroom from the Google applications, which is from this particular area, which has the six dots in your Google Chrome, or you can actually type in classroom.google.com straight away in the Google Chrome browser. So when I click on the six dots out here, this is where all the Google applications are available. So you can find your Google Classroom in this section of Google applications. So when I click on Google Classroom, this will take me to the Google Classroom application within Google. In this case, since you see here there are a lot many classrooms being created, but let me take you through the steps on how you create your own class. You create your own class by clicking on this plus sign out here. This is the area where you can create your class as well as you can join the class. Now, creating class is of course done by the faculty, and join classes particularly for the students. Create class. So when I click on create class, of course there is a small information coming from Google, so we'll just click on this checkbox and click on continue. To create a class, the most important part here is you have to give a name to your class. So let's give this name as Integrated Marketing Communication. There are three more sections out here, but these three sections are not required. I will go forward and create this class. So you have the freedom to create the class the way you would like to. If you have three divisions of IMC, you can create three classes. You can say division A, division B, division C, so on and so forth. Google will create three classrooms for you. So the freedom of creating the class is up to you, and you can manage all the classes in one classroom, or you can have multiple classrooms. Now, the first steps, particularly when you create a classroom, is which I always recommend, is go to the settings bar out here. There's a small setting box out here. So this setting box basically enables you to create certain predefined settings for your classroom. For example, when I click on the setting box, the class details appears once again. So if you want to edit or change something, you can do it out here by clicking on to the settings, which is on the right hand side. There is a general tab here. So in general tab, if you see, there is something called as class code, which I'll explain to you. Streams is where the post happens. So I always recommend that keep this as only teachers can post to the comments. So this area, this section where only teachers can post. The stream is something where it is used for announcements. It is used for informing the students about the class, about the assignments, so on and so forth. The grading sections out here, which is of course required, particularly when you are setting up certain grading for your assignments. We will leave it here as it is right now. Let's click on save. So the first setup is done, where I have did a bit of changes for the stream section, which means that when you're posting something for your class out here, this is the section where you actually post information for your class. So this post can only be done by the faculty. So we don't want to use this as a chat board where students also are allowed to come and post. So I leave it up to you to decide how you'd like to. So this is the section where you can post something. Let's say you say welcome to IMC class. Once you post it, this gets by default posted to all the students. Or again, here you can do some selective thing. For example, you want to post something and you want only the CR should be communicated. So you can also select the CR's name and then click on post. So this is the first step on creating a classroom, right? Now, first thing, important point to understand here is, so in this classroom, as a faculty, you have these 4 tabs. So faculty can actually view and work on 4 sections of the classroom. So if you see here, these are the 4 sections. Stream is where you post information to your entire class. Classwork is where you will define your assignments. You will give your materials, handouts to all your students. People is basically where all the students' name will appear. You can add your students, you can remove students, so on and so forth. Grades as a section where after the assignments are done, you can actually do the grades of all the students within Google Classroom itself. So this is the first step in Google Classroom. Now let us go and see how we can make students join my classroom. So when I click on this People's tab, in People's tab there are two sections. There is a teacher section. So the teacher who has created the classroom by default appears his name. Plus you have the ability, also a choice where you can add your co-teachers or some other teachers who are part of IMC if required. But more important here is students. So you can invite students by typing their email address straight from here. So if you know the email address, but cases where there are lot many students, naturally you don't want to manually keep typing the email address. So that is where you can invite the students to your class by sending them this particular class code. This class code is also visible in the main class section at the stream tab. You see here there is this code out here. This code is also visible when you click on this small square box. This square box enables you to see the code a little bigger. So you can copy this entire code and you can paste it in the email section, or you can paste it in WhatsApp. So this will make students, this is a key for the students to join the class. So when students go to the class, go to Google Classroom application, by using this code, students can, of course, join in the classroom by using this code. So if you see, this is the section where students can actually join the class by using that code. So that is how students will join into the classroom which you have created. So this is the first step of creating a classroom, creating the stream, doing a bit of edit function in the stream, then going to people. You can add the student's name, or you can use this code and send this code to the students. So that's the first step where students are actually joining your classroom. Thank you.